You're listening to the August edition of the Sponsorship Experts podcast with Paul Poole, Director of Paul Poole Southeast Asia Co Limited and the founder of the Sponsorship Experts. In this episode of the podcast, we will feature the latest ASN report on the Asian gambling market, and we also have a number of new commercial sponsorship and partnership opportunities available, including Nakhon Si United Football Club, and we'll also have an interview with their coach, Tony Basha. So let's get on with it. Here we are again in our little room where the magic happens. And this week we have no special guest with a drill.
No.
And that's a good thing.
Don't jinx it, please.
Other special guests may occur. Who knows? All right. So the first thing, we haven't got a lot of things to talk about this month, but the things that we have got to talk about are very interesting indeed.
Indeed.
And we will probably have an interview at some point in this podcast with one of the key players in the second story we're going to talk about. But the first story we're going to talk about is the Asia Sponsorship News.
Okay. So Asia Sponsorship News has released its Gambling Asia Market Analysis 2025. The report showed gambling sponsorship in Asia experienced a 25% decline in 2024, dropping to $92 million, just 4.5% of the global total, despite global gambling sponsorship rising to $2.1 billion, largely driven by US sports betting.
Is that kind of... I don't know if you're going to go into it, but is that indicative of a growth in the US, or is it indicative of the economy and disposable income?
I mean, I think there's definitely a growth in sports betting, but I think the drop in Asia regionally is attributed to regularity uncertainty and the tightening of front of shirt gambling sponsorship in the English Premier League, which is a key platform for Asian betting brands. So this is one of those stories that you hate because there's lots of numbers that are not great for podcasts, but great for reading.
No, if the numbers are pertinent, then that's okay. And look, there is no great way to read a bunch of stats. No, so let's have it. Hit me with the stats.
Okay, so the top three Asian markets were Pan-Asia with 65 million US. When we say Pan-Asia, that means deals done across many Asian countries. That's the equivalent to 70% of the regional spend. India, 12 million was spent, largely on cricket, should I say, and in China, 10 million US dollars spent. So those were the three top Asian markets. Regulatory progress varies across Asia. I'm not going to go into detail in the podcast about the different regulations in the different markets. There's more information in the newsletter story, but there's great detail in the report itself on where each country in Asia stands in terms of betting, in terms of gambling. Should say, when we say gambling, we mean all forms of gambling, including sports betting, so casinos, etc. So please look at the newsletter story, or please buy the report to find out. I think
the report is probably the only source for that sort of forensic detail that you need if you're a decision maker, and that industry or that part of the industry affects you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There is no other source that's thorough and
not for Asia. I memean, we've spent a lot of time capturing this information, this data, and compiling the report. It's the first report that ASN has published this year because there was so much data and so many changing regulations. We've seen in Thailand where the actual entertainment complex bill or the casino bill has been put on hold. We thought that was going forward quite quickly. It's now paused, and many countries in the region have had similar experiences. Check out the report for the different regulations. Okay. In terms of gambling sponsorship in Asia, it's heavily concentrated around three sports platforms, making up 94% of the investment. No surprise, football at 45%, motorsports, actually F1, with 39%, and cricket with 10% solely from India. So that's quite an interesting takeaway from the report. The top 5 gambling brands are 188bet, Stake.com, 8times-bet, My11 Circle, and BK8.com, which accounted for 68% of the total. 188bet, now headquarters in the Philippines, led over 1/3 of the regional investment. 8xBet was the top football sponsor, partnering with Chelsea FC, Leicester City FC, while 188bet and Stake.com dominated motorsport deals. So interesting to see all of those online betting.
Which is Stake are massive. I mean, they've engaged a lot of influencers. They're all over the combat sports.
I mean, actually, what also shows in the report is a lot of the sponsorship deals are done in countries where there's really strict regulation over gambling. So it's not easy for these gambling brands to do activity.
Right.
So it's interesting to read what's going on. And, this report is a global report, really, because it's showing Asian brands sponsoring globally. We mentioned EPL a little earlier in the section. So leading rights holders were Chelsea FC, Formula One Group, and the Board of Cricket Control in India, drawing in 45% of all sponsorship spend. And the 3 largest individual deals by 188bet, Stake.com, and 8xBet contributed nearly $43 million, or 47% of the total Asian gambling sponsorship in 2024. So, really there aren't that many players in the market in terms of brands and also in terms of platforms as well. So looking ahead, the Asian gambling sponsorship landscape faces a critical transformation driven by evolving regulation, growing concerns over gambling's social impact, and Thailand's untapped market potential. The next 5 years will be pivotal in shaping the future of gambling sponsorship across the region.
Well, what's your feeling as someone based in Thailand about how it's likely to go? The pressure has been building for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's a lot of money goes overseas, people going over borders or going to Macau or Singapore to gamble.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really comment on why people gamble and where they gamble. That's not actually even of interest to me. Right. It's actually about those brands that are sponsoring from the gambling industry and what they're sponsoring. We were hopeful of legal casinos here in Thailand, and where that may lead from the casino operators and the resorts and the multi-use developments that those sites how they operate. So I think that's what's more of interest, and the regulation across the whole of Asia is pretty tough. Actually, across the whole world. I mean, you look at the EPL tightening up with gambling sponsors on shirts. So I think that it's really one to carefully watch and read in the Gambling Asia Market Analysis Report, which is available online at asiasponsorshipnews.com. As a reminder, ASN is the leading market intelligence service for the sponsorship industry in Asia, which distributes news, analytics, and insights on a subscription basis with a bespoke consultancy and training service. And ASN is operated by Asia Sponsorship News Company Limited, which is a subsidiary of ours, Paul Pool Southeast Asia Company Limited, which we've spoken about.
And that's why we're talking about it.
That's why we're talking about it
on Paul Pool Southeast Asia's podcast.
Absolutely.
Now, there's I don't know whether it's the right way to phrase it, but I think so. A success story, perhaps, of ASN.
Yeah, well, I mean, actually,
and that's our next thing that we're going to talk about. The second
leads
thing.
Nicely in. So. One of the services ASN offers is lead generation. Actually, usually that is a IP or a platform that wants to find sponsors, and they hire ASN to do some lead gen using ASN's deals data and brand
critical diligence, really.
Yeah.
It's like a viability study.
Yeah.
We want to do this. We need to fund it, or some of it by this.
Yeah.
is it going to be viable?
But we were approached, or ASN was approached late last year by a group from Australia who expressed interest in buying a Thai League 2 football club. They subscribed to ASN, had all the data that ASN had to offer, had all the brand and rights holder directory that ASN has to offer, and then it took ASN's lead gen service to research and introduce all 18 teams in Thai League 2 to actually look at acquiring a club.
Right.
So many meetings were had, many conversations were had, and finally the group ended up acquiring Nakhon Si United Football Club from southern Thailand.
All right, so tell me about Nakhon Si Thammarat Devils.
So
I think, is that the nickname?
No,
Devils?
the Southern Dragons, but close.
Something like, look, they're called United, ergo Devils is usually around that name. Go ahead.
So on the back of the work that ASN did, now that they own or acquired Nakhon Si United Football Club, we, Paul Pool Southeast Asia, have been hired to manage commercial sponsorship and partnership marketing for the club for the 2025-2026 season.
But tell me about the people. Tell me about Tony.
Known as the Southern Dragons, Nakhon Si United is a professional football club in Nakhon Si Thammarat in Thailand. The club, which was founded in 2014, represents the south in Thai League 2 and holds strong regional pride. So, bit of background on Thai League 2. 18 teams playing 34 games from August to May every year. So we're just starting the season now. So one of the group from Australia is Australian football professional Tony Basher. So he's acquired the club, and he is going to transform the Southern Dragons from a strong local team into a national contender with fresh investment, a global footballing perspective, and a goal to enter Thai League 1 in the next 2 seasons. Or sooner than that. So Tony, I think we're going to be lucky enough to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, that interview will follow this.
Yeah, fantastic. So he has more than 20 years experience in youth development and club management. I'll let him discuss all of his experience and his plans for the team.
I mean, a great addition to the knowledge base here for the kids to have someone with that wealth of experience here to develop it. I mean, I read that they're very invested in the youth team policy.
Yeah,
that's how they're hoping to achieve what they want to.
Absolutely, and I don't want to steal Tony's thunder because he'll explain this at length. Yeah. But he really also wants to take Thai footballers out of Thailand into Europe, etc., to play as well. So it's not just inwardly looking; he's looking externally as well. So
it's hard to think about why not, because the passion for football in Thailand is as strong as it is in any European country.
Yeah,
everyone supports somebody in the Premier League and usually a couple of the European leagues.
Absolutely. I mean, this brings me on nicely to the next point that I wanted to get across. Yeah. I mean, the new developments at Nakhon Si United Football Club come at an opportune time for football in Thailand and wider Asia. Football sponsorship, and again, this is data from Asia Sponsorship News, in Asia has grown 73% over the past decade.
Wow.
Driven by sectors such as technology, retail, and gambling. Nicely brought in for the gambling report as well. And football remains the leading sports sponsorship platform, attracting 29% of all sports sponsorship spending, well ahead of motorsports at 12%. So, football is really where the brands are looking.
Fantastic, yeah. And so for an ambitious owner, it's ripe, yeah. I mean, because they've got the romance of coming up from a lower league If they pull it off, and let's hope they do.
Absolutely.
You know, that is football defined at that kind of level.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, of course, we would prefer, the club would prefer if they're in Thai League 1. They're not. They're in Thai League 2.
No, but I mean, that's part of the romance of the
correct.
story.
They've only got one place to go. I mean, hopefully. But, that's going to be the excitement looking over the next few seasons. Makes our job slightly challenging because, obviously, the price points in Thai League 2 for sponsors are more affordable or more palatable. They will go up significantly, like 3x, if in Thai League 1. So,
but if you're a bigger company, a national company, who are getting involved at a lower level, then the risk is minimal, and the potential upside of the reflected glory, like a promotion and so on, and the relationship that you've built with the club is going to endure when they get into that top league, right?
Absolutely. And also this coming season, for the next few seasons, there's already a TV deal in place by the FA Thailand, so you can watch all Thai League 2 matches on AIS Play and Mono 29. So I'm not sure if this is the first time Thai League 2 matches have been broadcast, but certainly it's the first time for a very, very, very long time that they're broadcast. So that changes the game significantly for sponsors.
National exposure,
with branding,
all the same advantages of a Premier League club.
Absolutely.
The amount of eyes on the team, because the local thing here is, is tribal, as is all football.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to him.
Yeah.
So anything else? I think you've got some news on the packages.
Yeah. So as with all our clients, we have developed a comprehensive commercial sponsorship partnership marketing package for Nakhon Si United Football Club. We have Tier 1 main sponsors. We have 3 positions for those main sponsors with front, centre, or a combined or back of shirt placement. We have Tier 2 official club partners. We have 2 positions for Tier 2 sponsors. Tier 3, we have official suppliers and official media partners, 10 of each. And you always ask me the question, which I never prepare for, so I prepared for it this time, where the type of industries that will be interested in these packages.
What type of industries will be interested in these packages? I did get to ask it.
Exactly. You always drop that on me, and I then scramble for an answer. But scramble for an answer. See, I even forgot the word scrabble. But as you said, I mean, football is the most dominant platform for sponsorship. So we are looking for, national, international brands, but sectors like airlines, apparel, kit manufacturer, auto, B2B services, banking, beverages, both soft drinks, sports drinks and water, clothing, consumer electronics, couriers, credit cards, energy, engineering, environment, fashion and clothing, film, financial services, finance, food, government, from local and national government, hotels and resorts, insurance, investment, finance, legal, media, photography, professional services, recruitment, retail, telco, ticketing, timing, travel and tourism, and also utilities, which is quite an interesting one. So so huge scope for sponsorship of Nakhon Si United Football Club. So we're really looking forward to getting out there and speaking to some brands, bringing them in mid-season, so in the 2025-2026 season, but looking to grow this from the 26-7 season as well. So
great.
Yeah.
I just love it. I love football. City have just done a deal with Puma worth £1.5 billion.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it for the money.
For wearing shirts. I think they get free shirts.
No,
well.
I mean, football sponsorship everywhere is huge. I mean, it's more than 50% of all sponsorship spend.
But that's an endorsement of the power of it, right?
Absolutely.
If you look at, I'm talking about City because it's an excuse to talk about City.
Yeah.
But £1.5 billion pounds is not pocket change for any company. It's over 10 years.
Yeah.
However, companies would not spend that kind of money without a tangible return.
No, absolutely. And, you have to think that, this is not local spend as well. It's not, even, Nakhon United Football Club, it's not going to be Nakhon Tamarat businesses necessarily that are sponsoring that team. It's the bigger brands that want national recognition, that get all of the branding benefits on shirt, on the perimeter boards at matches, televised live to a huge local audience, and the same scales up when you look at EPL or Bundesliga or La Liga. The passion for football, the visibility that these brands get is substantial, and also the fandom. I mean, the power of the fans, and you pointed out. I mean, Thai fans are so passionate. Yes, they all have their EPL team that they love and support. They all have, they all cheer Thai for the national team. They're all very passionate about the national team. But the tribalism around their own province or the province they're living is really very, very important as well.
I've been to a few tournaments that involve Thai clubs. I've been to some domestic tournaments. And then there was an international cup held last year with teams from the Philippines, Australia, I think maybe Singapore, I'm not sure, and the Thai teams. The Thai, attendance was outstanding. But the other thing that really touched me, and I got to talk to some of them, was that they have these spontaneous kind of cheerleaders. They're not employed by the club.
No.
They are mad fans.
I think this is the term. Actually, it was a good friend of mine, Pauline, who actually founded Cheer Thai to cheer on the national team.
Right.
But you see this on all sports. We've seen it. We're coming on to volleyball in a minute, but we've seen it at the volleyball where you see these cheerleaders with their big drums and their trumpets.
Massive. There was one girl who, during one of the Thai teams playing against Melbourne City, part of the Man City Football Club group, and she just spent all her time encouraging every fan in that stand, and she was running backwards and forwards with this enormous Thai flag. And the passion, and she's like a celebrity fan amongst them. Again, not engaged by the club, just genuine grassroots passion. I loved seeing that.
Yeah, and and I think that's everybody should always remember that actually the clubs really are owned by the fans. Yeah. The fans that really lead the game, and I think that that's no different whether you're in Manchester or you're down in Nakhon Tamarat.
The experience is the same.
It's the same. And we've seen firsthand the growth of football here as well. I mean, 20 years ago, the league system wasn't what it is today. I mean, the league system is very professional, very well organised, great TV coverage. The FA Thailand have done a fantastic job.
Andros Townsend has just signed for a Thai team, for a Thai First Division team.
I saw that.
They've had the high-profile players who became managers. Peter With was the manager of the national team. His son Jason was a manager for quite a while of one of the Bangkok clubs.
Absolutely.
So they've had the names and they've had the professionalism here before.
Yeah, and I think that passion, it's passion. I mean that follows through, and I think that's why we see really strong sponsors in the leagues and the clubs here in Thailand across all three divisions. Interestingly, we haven't worked with them yet. We hope to work with them soon. BYD has just taken Toyota's spot as the FA Thailand's official sponsor, sponsoring all three leagues, which is an interesting shift in brands. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how that filters down into the clubs as well.
My taxi here today was a BYD. Nice. And I love them. And you see them everywhere here. They're huge. You rarely see a Tesla. But you see BYDs everywhere. Yeah, and I live outside town, as you know. Yeah. But there's just so many.
Well, I mean, I saw the figures from the recent motor show where, BYD topped Toyota in terms of sales. Toyota is always dominant at the motor shows. BYD was dominant, shortly followed by Toyota. So quite interesting to see that shift. BYD is Build Your Dreams, and the FA Thailand across the leagues, I think they've used the caption Beyond the Game.
Right.
So, they're really looking at their activation as well. So we hope that filters down into the clubs as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you'd like to get in touch with Paul Pool Southeast Asia Co Limited, you can email us on info@paulpool.co.th, or you can go to the website paulpool.co.th, or you can call us on +66 2622 0605 through to 7.
All right. And any other business?
Just one, but it's a biggie. So our team will be in attendance in Bangkok, Nakhon Ratchasima, Korat, Chiang Mai and Phuket for the FIVB Volleyball Women's World Championships Thailand 2025 from the 22nd of August to the 7th of September. Obviously, a huge client of ours, has been for 3 years, Volleyball World, and we're so thrilled to welcome, I think it's 32 teams playing 88 matches across those 4 cities. So, we're going to have 2 weeks of nothing but volleyball. So, really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to
NBVB, nothing but volleyball.
looking forward to our sponsor and Hatari getting the most out of it as well, which will be fantastic too.
Yeah, I mean, sponsor really are all over their events, aren't they? I love watching them work.
So as a reminder, Sponsor were the title sponsor of the VNL here in Thailand, 24 and 2023. Yeah. They're now a regional partner of Volleyball World. So we saw them at the VNL recently, just finished, and now as a sponsor of the World Champs as well, which is fantastic. And then after the Women's World Championships, we're off to the Philippines for the Men's World Championships. So both World Championships in Southeast Asia, which is great for the region as well, and great for the game.
Fantastic. All right. So I think that's a wrap for this month, right?
That's us, yeah. For this month. We'll be back next month.
Thank you very much. See you next month.
Thank you, Trevor.
If you'd like to get in touch with Paul Pool Southeast Asia Co Limited, you can email us on info@paulpool.co.th, or you can go to the website paulpool.co.th, or you can call us on +66 2622 0605 through to 7. All right, so as we mentioned during the show, I'm being joined by Tony Basher, or TB as he's known, and it's a bit of a relief to have someone with a name that's that easy to pronounce, because normally we interview people whose names are a bit of a mouthful because they're from Europe. So we got Tony Basher, who's got a very straightforward Australian name that I can't mess up, and his nickname, of course, because he's an Australian, he has a nickname. TB. Welcome, TB.
How are you, champion?
All right, mate. It's not every day that some Australians buy a football club in the 2nd division in Thailand. Walk me through your thinking on that.
Okay. I've been travelling to Thailand for a long time for the academy, so we go there and play matches all the time. So I kind of fell in love with the football, the culture. And I went to watch a Division 3 team play. Then I watched a Division 2 team play, and I was pretty impressed with the level of play. And I thought that could be a good backyard for our young players at the academy, because I have a pretty good academy here in Sydney, Australia. And the problem is a lot of the kids struggle to get opportunities to play pro football. So we thought the best way moving forward was getting a club in Thailand. The football's good, the culture's good. And, so we thought that's the place to start.
That is very sane. For an idea that on the surface looks unlikely, that is an absolutely spot-on motivation for doing it, because I've been here 27 years, and football hasn't grown in Thailand in those 27 years. It's stayed at the level it was at when I got here, which is insane passion. And no, it's true. Kids play football on the street here still, on the quiet streets. Around the corner from everybody, there's a game going on. There's great indoor facilities with with aircon almost everywhere, and the passion for the game, especially the Premier League, is incredible. Every tie has a team, so I get it. And because you've seen a live game, you've seen that passion on the live level, right?
Absolutely. I enjoyed going to the games and the singing and the ultras and mate, it was good. I liked it. I love everything about Thailand. To be fair, I love the people. I think they got good footballers too. I think the players are pretty good there, but unfortunately, I believe they don't have the capacity to move these players abroad, which hopefully I can do once we get. Obviously, I'll get more involved in the club as we move forward. I've obviously opened doors in Europe for their Thai players, so which is something I've wanted to do because, mate, because at the young ones, they're as good as anyone in the world at the young age. So there's no reason why, if someone like myself can go in there and develop them, why they can't have the Thai players playing around the world.
So what are the short-term and long-term goals you've got for Nakhon Si?
You know what? It actually started, the way we started off wasn't the best start because it just took so long to get all the paperwork from the old owners to get it started because it took, I think we started a week late or 2 weeks late for pre-season. We had hired the coach. We had spoken to a coach and told him we agreed. But because we didn't get the documents from the other side, there was a bit of a hiccup. So we had to bring in a caretaker coach, which is who's in there now. And slowly the coach staff's getting built, basically, because of the, the slow start and all the documents and paperwork that we waited for. Because we don't want to go hire a coach and make him sign a contract and we haven't got the club. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So our short-term goals obviously get to know more about the football. I've studied it a little bit. Obviously, I can still do more. But look, we want to go there, build a good club, good family club, a club that the area can be proud of. We do want to do an academy there as well to have some kids coming through the ranks, get them into the first team. And we're going to be the club of opportunity. So we want to give players opportunity. If they haven't been given opportunities elsewhere, we're happy to always bring them in and have a look at them because that's who I am. And I want to give Thai players opportunities, you know what I mean? That some people never get in their life. So I want to be that club that is always open to giving everyone a chance.
I'm grinning away here because I've lived in a few countries in Asia. In the Philippines, a friend of mine bought a team in the Philippines. Football isn't really big in the Philippines. They're more into American sports.
Yeah.
But one of the things that plagues that league or the recruitment in that country, and the same was true in India. When I lived there, I got involved in a football club in Calcutta. And the people who got the opportunities to play at any sort of level tended to be from a very refined group of wealthy people who went to private schools who actually played football. And so they already limited the gene pool of who they could select from to basically elite families.
Yep. Yep. We know all about this. This is normal, mate. This is normal everywhere, and it's normal in Australia. And what I want people to understand about myself is I started the academy coaching refugee kids. Brilliant. 19 years ago, keeping kids off the street. I was never used to charge them. I used to have like 30 kids. They were African descent, Iranian descent, Iraqi descent. They were all from different backgrounds, and I trained them, kept them off the street. This is how I grew up in an area in Sydney, which was, it's not the best area, you know what I mean? I grew up in a very rough area, and it made me who I am. So I'm all about, I'm open to talk to anyone. I'm happy to talk to the fans. I'm happy to have coffee with the fans, happy to have dinner with the fans. I'm happy to sit down and talk to anyone. This is how I am. I don't think I'm better than anyone. And football brings everyone together, no matter what religion, what background, who you are, what you are. And this is why I love football, because it brings everyone together. And it made me who I am today, I've been at lowest lows in my life in football. I had an injury. I wasn't getting paid. And you know what? It built me to who I am. And, I'm all about the people and the players. And it doesn't matter if you've got no money. It doesn't mean you can't play. Because football's for everybody.
Well, that's the thing. You see, this is what I didn't understand when I started to come to Asia and live here, is that in Brazil or South America, it's exactly the opposite. Kids kicking cans on a beach can get signed and become Pele, or become Maradona, or become...
Absolutely.
The list is endless, right, of brilliant South American footballers who were basically recruited off the streets.
Yep, absolutely.
And if that's going to happen, I'm dead excited. I really want this to work for you. I think if you're going to give, the working class kids of that region of Thailand an opportunity, I think it's going to reward you.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's what it's about, mate. It's about giving them opportunities and doesn't matter who they are. I don't care if they got money or got no money or they live on the street, mate. We'll give them an opportunity to play for Nakhon Si. This is what it's about. This is what we're there for. We're there to make a change.
I love that. All right, TB, I think you're on the verge of a brilliant adventure, and I think you're going to find that you grow from it as well.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I can't wait. We're going to come and catch up. I'm going to catch up with you in Bangkok, mate.
Brilliant. Yeah, let's stay in touch. Ask Paul not to meet at the office. Ask to meet where we normally meet, which is
let's go to a club meeting.
It's a cigar club.
It's
a cigar club with a fantastic selection of whiskies. It's miraculous we ever record a podcast there. All right, TB, that's been great. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Legend, mate.
Great.
Good talking to you, mate.
All right, buddy. See you.
See you, champion. Ciao. Bye.
Seeking sponsors. Seeking an opportunity to sponsor. Looking to maximise an already sponsored opportunity? Visit paulpaul.co.th, the sponsorship experts.